Hey guys, this is Ada coming in to do a video right quick. It may not be so quick, but anyway, I told you guys that I will be back in today to finish talking about inflammation in the body and to show you guys various supplements that I take to help with inflammation. I introduced you guys to, was it 2 or 3 yesterday? I think it was 2 yesterday. And that wasn't new because I did those same supplements on another video, but on this particular video from today and yesterday, I want to focus in on inflammation because, as I said yesterday, I learned that if your body's really inflamed, your body hold on to toxins and it's harder to lose weight. And I noticed since I've been taking those supplements to help with inflammation, I see that my weight is dropping without any other changes, right? And I do eat fairly decent, guys, and I do smoothies and I do a lot of vegetables. Yeah, I do a lot of vegetables. But anyway, the vitamins I want to talk about today, I have a vitamin and a mineral. Actually, the vitamin that I want to talk about is actually a hormone. And I've talked about it before in other videos, but I wanted to talk about it as it relates to inflammation. Okay, this is vitamin D3 with K2, of course. And D3 is more of a hormone. Vitamin D is more of a hormone because it can help the body maintain the immune system. It helps with joints because it helps push get your calcium into raise your calcium level. And the K2 help get into the joints. And so I've been taking vitamin D for a long time, for years, guys, because I know when I first started taking like 5,000 international units, and sometimes I would take up to 30. It just depends on what was going on in my body. If I felt like I had some type of inflammation or lowered immune system, I would up my dose. But at that time, when I first started taking vitamin D3, they were saying you only needed 400 micromilligrams. And so, of course, I did my research and I found that no, some people need more than that. And so I was one of those people that probably needed more due to being a darker skinned individual, and my skin don't absorb it as well as other people. So, with that being said, there was a site at that time. I didn't know anything about YouTube. I guess it may have existed, but I didn't know anything about it. But there was a site that I used to use that I would go on, and they had all the information about natural supplements, functional medicine, and all that type stuff. And that site was called Earth Clinic, and you could really get good information. And people would talk about, just kind of like YouTube, but it was just in writing. They would talk about how it helped them, some of the side effects or what have you. So that's how I learned about vitamin D3. And I learned at that time as well that it was more of a hormone than a vitamin. So, with that being said, as far as inflammation in the body, um, D3 is good because it builds your immune system. And it also helps to, you know, fight off inflammation. Will help your white blood cells, and which we know your white blood cells is responsible for the immune system. So I feel like it helped build those blood cells, and I kind of feel like it helped build the body up, just like a steroid. When people take steroids, they take it to help build their body to make them less resistant to inflammation and stuff like that. So that's what I feel like, vitamin D is good. And according to the research and people testimonies, it's good for that. Now, the K2, I didn't always know about K2. And, I kept researching and I learned about that if you take vitamin D3, it would be good to take K2 with it simply because the K2 help direct the calcium into the bones because the vitamin D will raise your calcium level, and the K2 will help it go into the joints instead of in your arteries. You don't want, calcium lodged in your arteries. So that's one reason I buy this supplement together. Now, I would advise anybody, if you don't know about vitamin D3 by now, do your research. But a lot of people found out about vitamin D3 during COVID because the doctors were actually telling people to take it. When in past they were writing prescriptions for it, but they were actually telling people to go out and buy it, or they wrote a prescription. So, it came along. A lot of people learned about vitamin D3 during COVID. But it's good for more than just the immune system, guys. It's good for your body overall because we need vitamin D3. And we know, most of us know, we get it from the sun. But if you're in an area where there's not as much sunlight, if you're darker skinned, sometimes you have to up the dosage. And so I take it and have taken it religiously for years. Okay, that's D3, guys. The next one I want to talk about that I take religiously, daily, is magnesium. Because I learned how good magnesium is for the heart. It's good for the heart, it's good for the joints, it's good for the nervous system. It is just good overall. And magnesium, we should get in our food supply, guys. But because of the soil being depleted, a lot of times we may not get as much as we need. And what I learned from my parents who were older, my parents were born during the early 1900s, and I'm their youngest child. Of course, they're deceased now. What I learned is that from them being, in the South and knowing about farming, they said that the land is supposed to rest for like 7 years before you plant. You plant so long, then you have to let the land rest. And so they were saying that the crops were not as good now because the land doesn't have time to replenish itself. So, I think about that. And then when you listen to a lot of the doctors and functional medical doctors, they will tell you that the soil sometimes doesn't contain the minerals that we need, which is why, we need to maybe supplement. So the disclaimer is, guys, I'm going to go ahead and stick that in there. I'm not a doctor or a medical professional, so I can't really tell you, what to do. But I can tell you what I do. And, do your own research. Talk to your doctor. Talk to your nutritionist. Talk to whoever you need to talk to. And be comfortable before you embark on, anybody's journey. Because it may work for them. But I feel like this is something that I personally don't want to be without, guys. I don't want to be without this D3 and magnesium daily. So, with that being said, guys, I did work in a lab and I learned about a lot. And that's been 20 some years ago. I used to work with doctors and work with the labs and give results and all to the doctors. I was a technician, I guess, and then we had the technologists who were more educated. But just learning from them about the various tests and what have you. But anyway, with that being said, that still doesn't make me a professional. I just learned from different things from them. But anyway, guys, that's what I have for the day. Make sure you're drinking your water, eating your vegetables, and what have you. And I'm going to come back in the next video, and I'm going to talk about different teas that we use. And we have a lot of tea because I drink tea, my older children drink tea, and we just kind of have a cabinet full. So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if it's been helpful. If this channel will be helpful, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.